Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to the IMAP Managed Account Awards for 2021. I'm Toby Potter and I'm the chair of IMAP, and it's my pleasure to be able to host this evening's IMAP Awards. So congratulations to all of those of you who are finalists. I'm sorry that we can't be doing this live and in person, but perhaps next year we'll be able to participate in person and really have an opportunity to congratulate the winners and the finalists for the awards in 2022. First, a little about the format of today's session. After this brief introduction, I'll ask each of the judges to say a little about the categories that they've been involved in, and to explain a little about the criteria which we used in evaluating those categories. We've had a substantial number of entrants this year, and that's really a reflection of the growth in managed accounts generally and in their adoption by advisors. How substantial that's been, you'll see when we release the June 30th fund census on the 14th of September. The entrants represent a broad range of organisations, from those that are global in their reach and capability, down to those who are much more local, homegrown, and who really are a team of dedicated individuals working in much smaller organisations. Among the interesting insights for me from this award process has been the range of business models that the awards themselves represent. Those who are advisor organisations, who are advisor owned and licensed, and where the portfolios represent the investment philosophy of that group of advisors, that group of portfolio managers. Those that have separated advice from investment management, for example, and run them as related but separate organisations. There are some organisations represented tonight who are dealer groups for whom the managed account is an important, if not critical, part of their service offering to their advisors. And then, of course, there are those who are global organisations for whom this is one of many very serious components to their service offer to their clients. Some of the organisations deal with retail and wholesale clients, some with wholesale only. In summary, managed accounts have democratised investment management delivered through advice businesses. Before we get underway, I'd like to thank a number of people who've been involved in making this possible. First of all, to BlackRock, who are the sponsor of our licensee category. And I'll be introducing James Kingston from BlackRock later in the presentation. And importantly, of course, to our judges. The judges put an enormous amount of effort into the work of assessing the many entrants which we receive. It really is a labour of love for them. And so to the judges who've, in most cases, participated over a number of years, I would really like to thank them for their efforts, and on your behalf, for the insights and the experience that they bring to this process. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dragana Timotejevich as the first of our judges to talk about the multi-asset class and to talk a little about our assessment process and to announce the winner. Dragana, over to you.
Thank you, Toby. Thank you. I'm sorry, trying to work. Thank you, Toby, and good evening, everyone. The multi-asset category, this year we had 14 entrants, which is a similar number to last year. As you know, the key focus for the judges and the key differentiator for this category is asset allocation, specifically the manager's approach to strategic asset allocation and active asset allocation. In addition, we are looking at the organization, the process, resourcing, research, and risk management. So out of those 14 entrants, we've selected the 5 finalists, and you can see their names on the screen. After careful deliberation and reviewing and assessing the manager's capabilities in the relevant areas and their track record, we chose Morgan Stanley Wealth Management Australia as the winner.
Thanks very much, Dragana. It's now my pleasure to invite Nathan Lim from Morgan Stanley to say a few words.
Hi, Toby. Am I on the screen?
You are indeed, Nathan.
Oh, thank you very much. We are very pleased. Dragana, Toby, and the IMAP team, thank you very much for recognizing our hard work. I'm just sort of lost for words at the moment. First of all, I really want to thank Alex Ventalong. He and I managed this portfolio together. This is very much his award as it is mine, and we share in this victory today. I have to thank our team, Wayne, Sharmil, Sophie, Christine. You guys show up every day. You guys put in the hard work. You help us create these great outcomes for our clients. And I really got to commend you for your commitment to our craft. But most importantly, I got to thank Ian Chambers. He's the head of our wealth management business here in Australia. Without his and your continuous support, Ian, and your mentoring, there's no way we could have got here. Thank you very much for your continuous support. And again, thank you, IMAP, for bestowing this award on us. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Nathan, and congratulations on the work which you and your team do. It's now my pleasure to hand over to Brad Matthews to say a little about the Australian Equities small cap finalists. Brad, over to you.
Thanks, Toby. The Australian Equities small caps, I think it's an interesting category because it's an area where I think a lot of investors and advisors maybe shy away from managed accounts, just given some of the challenges in that space. And it's also an area where I think there's a pretty high level of satisfaction with traditional managed funds in terms of alpha generation. But I think what we've seen over the last few years in this category is a demonstration that you can actually generate really good alpha out of small caps in a managed account structure. And we've got some finalists here that have got sort of well-entrenched approaches and have produced really good results, particularly over the last 12 months. Some of the returns that we've seen come out of this asset class have been quite outstanding. In addition to some of the standard things we look for in terms of process, risk management, within the small cap area, what's also particularly important is an acknowledgement in the process of some of the liquidity issues with small caps and the extent to which you need to adjust your execution and work with the platform in executing because of some of those liquidity issues, which are particularly pertinent when you're running a managed account structure. So that's a very important part of the assessment of the small cap category. In addition to that, client communications is important as well, and we're looking for clear communications with a high level of consistency. In terms of return, the winner this year has really demonstrated a consistency of process, but also a consistency of alpha generation. And the winner this year is the same as the winner last year for this category, which is MacQuarie Investment Management.
Congratulations to MacQuarie. It's now my pleasure to ask Brad Partridge to join us to say a few words. Brad, over to you.
Thanks, Toby. And look, thanks to IMAP for this award. I think it's our 4th consecutive win in this category. So, you know, we're really proud and pleased to be accepting this award today. Congratulations to the other finalists. You know, we're really proud of our achievements in the Australian equity SMA market. You know, the last 18 months have been challenging for equity investors, but we've been really pleased with the consistent excess returns that we've been able to deliver for our clients in these challenging market conditions. So on behalf of all of MacQuarie Investment Management, we'd like to thank you for this award.
Thanks very much, Brad, and congratulations. You get the plaque next year if you win it again. But we're looking forward to more entrants in this category. So now over to one of the categories which is really developing in managed accounts. And it's my pleasure to ask Dom McCormick to talk about international equities. Dom, over to you.
Thanks, Toby. Despite the increasing ease of accessing global markets today and the rise of retail and the Robin Hood traders, international equities is a category where professional management, deep experience, and a global presence can provide significant long-term advantages and ability to add value. That's even if all the PMs and their analysts are currently operating from home, just like the Robin Hood traders. But we have clearly seen these large, long-established and well-resourced global players become more prominent in offering managed accounts in recent years. Having said that, it's good to still see some Australian-based investment organisations in the international equities finalist mix. But if the year 2021 is starting to feel like 2020 in a whole range of ways, the winner in this category will not dissuade you from that view. Yes, it's a winner from 2020, taking it out again in 2021, Franklin Templeton.
Congratulations to the Franklin Templeton team, a combined team from Australia and the US. And it's now my pleasure to ask Francine Moon, the portfolio manager for Franklin Templeton, to say a few words. Francine, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toby. Can you see me? I'm not.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a great honour to win this award again, especially you know, after, I guess, you know, what was a tumultuous year last year with COVID, and then you know, obviously this year as we come out through the other side. It's fantastic to be recognised. You know, most of us in the team have been working together for the last 10 to 15 years. So it's really rewarding to be, you know, nominated as well as to win in this category. I'd like to thank everyone at Franklin Templeton, the sales and marketing teams, distribution, everybody who's helped us tell our story, as well as to sort of engage with our clients and, you know, to continue, you know, I guess the momentum and, you know, going forward. So thank you very much. And thank you to IMAP for this great honor. We're really thrilled.
Thanks very much, Francine, and congratulations to you. Now, one of the smaller categories for us is Australian fixed interest. And it's always a disappointment to me that it is small. I'd encourage fixed interest managers to participate in the awards. But to talk about this critical and very challenging area, I'd like to invite Nigel Douglas to talk about it and to announce the winner. Nigel, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Toby. Yeah, I think the reasons here, it is challenging to produce well-balanced, cost-effective portfolios in this space. And, you know, managers tend to focus on listed exchange-traded funds and direct hybrids. And there's a few corporate bonds that they can invest in as well. So it's a fairly restricted universe. when really fixed interest investing is all about delivering a decent yield, capital preservation and diversification. So that's why we have a small but high quality field this year again. However, the fundamentals of sound bond investing still apply. So we look for a clear investment philosophy in line with client requirements, rigorous investment process emphasizing decent yield and duration management, sound or high credit quality and liquidity. And finally, good client communication, because fixed interest has a few more bells and whistles than some of the other asset classes. So after due deliberation, we decided again on real asset management as the winner.
Thanks very much, Nigel. And so it's my pleasure to ask Michael Frierson from Real Asset Management to say a few words, and congratulations to you, Michael.
Wow, thanks again to Toby and to the judges for conducting the awards during such challenging times. So as we highlighted, fixed income has been challenging with record low cash rates, significant volatility in credit spreads, and also in the longer term bond rates. So it's really pleasing to be recognised for the fourth consecutive year. So at RAM, we focus on building high quality, diversified income solutions for clients where consistency is key. So we're really pleased to be recognised again for the fourth year. And thanks again, Toby and the judges.
Thank you, Michael. Now, probably the category which receives the highest focus, perhaps the original managed account category, the one which probably gets the most comment and the one which arouses most interest amongst advisors is Australian equities. So it's now my pleasure to ask Amanda Munro to talk about this category and to announce the winner. Amanda, over to you.
Thanks, Toby. Yes, I have the pleasure this evening of announcing the winner of the always well-contested Australian equities category. This year, there were many high-quality entries for the category and several could have been winners. Questionnaire, two areas actually I want to call out as strong across the board. Questionnaire this year asked the entrants to include more detail on the specific value the team brought to managed accounts. And the answers were really thoughtful, and almost all of them took a client-centric approach, which we thought was great, and actually the way all products should. The other area that's really developed in the last 12 months was the response to the ESG question. We had a specific question, but it was notable that ESG issues were mentioned throughout the submissions, and it's really matured as a subject and become very well integrated in processes. I also want to call out two areas where I think there could be development. The first one is looking at citing academic evidence when talking about the investment philosophy. Some submissions did do this, and I think it really gives comfort, and those submissions were rewarded for that. And the other area is in team diversity. In particular, there was a lack of women across the board. Look, there's good evidence, to support the fact that women, when they do manage investments, are very capable. And diversity is always a great risk mitigator, as you all know. Look, I know this isn't an issue to be resolved in the near term, but I think this is something that we all need to work towards proactively. So the winner, a few things about the winner I'd like to call out as notable. They had a great, deep and experienced team. The portfolio invests in X20 ASX 300 companies. They take an active approach in company engagement, which is likely to be rewarding in this market cap range. And the ESG philosophy is very integral to the process, and it's also actively managed with the companies. Pleasingly, return on investment capital was given importance as a key metric in evaluating holdings. And And it's also interesting to note that this manager commits to a specific outperformance target of 3% over rolling 3-year periods. So you'll know who you are. I'm delighted to announce that the Aussie Equity winner this year for 2021 is First Sentia.
Congratulations to First Sentia, and it's my pleasure now to ask Paul Sleeman to say a few words. Paul, over to you.
Sorry, can you hear me there? Thank you, Toby, and the IMAP team, and thank you, Amanda. A specific thank you to the judging panel. On behalf of the investment team, I think we're humbled to accept this award. Sorry, I'm not sure if you
There we go. Yep, that's better. Yep.
Our investment team combines a strong passion for investing with a very strong work ethic to drive strong investment outcomes for our clients. And we've been able to do that in spades, not only more recently, but over the long term. So to be able to assist clients with a comfortable retirement gives us great comfort. And I think this award is part of that journey. So thank you on behalf of everyone at First Sentia.
Thanks very much, Paul, and congratulations to you and your team. There are two final categories which are quite different in the sense that most fund awards, most investment awards focus on particular asset categories. And of course, we've just covered those as well. But it seems to me that there are two areas which we really need to recognise as being critically important in the development, both historically and looking forward in managed accounts. And the first of those is the innovation category. This is a very broad criteria, unlike the asset classes. And it's my pleasure to ask Rob De Silva from SQM, who's with us for the first time on the judging panel, to announce the winners of the Innovation Award. Rob, over to you.
Thank you, Toby. You'll not be surprised to hear that technology was a major theme in the innovation category. The key questions we asked looking at innovation are, 1, how unique it is, 2, how well is it executed, and 3, how big of an impact does it have? The majority of the finalists have focused on custom-built technology specifically catering to the managed account sector. This kind of innovation will propel the whole sector forward in terms of encouraging broader adoption. Another interesting innovation we looked at involves taking the traditionally institutional practice of currency hedging for direct equity holdings, offshore holdings, and making it accessible to retail investors. However, the winner in this category has developed a highly customised and flexible end-to-end management system for managed accounts. It brings speed, efficiency, and friendliness to the user experience. It streamlines the risk profiling and compliance functions to allow a client to be completely brought on board in 10 minutes. I'm pleased to announce that the winner in the innovation category is Nucleus Wealth with its Proton software system. Congratulations.
Well done to the team at Nucleus, and it's my pleasure now to ask Damien Clarkson to say a few words. Damien, over to you. Right, I've just got a message to say that Damien's not on the call, so I guess we'll move to the next category. All right, the next category is the one which, for me, I guess, is my personal sentimental favourite. Managed accounts, as I've said times beyond count, have 4 components: investment management, technology, a legal structure, but first and foremost, advice. Managed accounts are implemented advice. Managed accounts are a way in which outcomes for clients, the outcomes that are designed to be consistent with their personal goals and circumstances and constraints, are articulated or delivered. So the licensee category in managed accounts is not just about how did the portfolio perform, although it is of course about that as well, but it's also about how consistent is the portfolio and the approach to portfolio building with an investment philosophy. How much consistency is there between the advice process, the management of client relationships with the way in which portfolios are managed? For me, this is a critical category in managed accounts because it's where the rubber really hits the road for retail and wholesale investors. In this category, we look not merely at the performance of the portfolio and the depth of resources of the organisations that they're able to deploy in pursuit of portfolio objectives, but also the way in which those objectives are set out for advisors and for retail clients, the way in which retail clients are taken on the journey, the way in which the advice process is made manifest to them. It seems to me that in all the discussion around affordable advice, one of the things which has not been much canvassed is the way in which the efficiencies that managed accounts facilitate are going to be delivered, are going to enable advice to be delivered to retail investors. And I'm sure we're starting to see that already. So this year's finalists represent a range of organisations with really quite different approaches to portfolio management and to their client base. Those that focus on higher net worth clients or indeed wholesale only clients, those who have a more traditional approach to advice and to a client base, and those who are really more specialised. This category is made possible with the support of BlackRock, who in this category provide Aladdin as one of the tools for risk management assessment, which the judges use in comparing the portfolios. And it's now my pleasure to hand over to James Kingston, Head of iShares for Australasia and Head of the Portfolio Management Process, to talk about Aladdin and that risk measurement process and to announce the winner. James, over to you.
Toby, thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you very much for letting us be part of the process again for this year's awards. As ever, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you. I think the last 18 months has been challenging for all of us as we construct and manage portfolios. A very noisy macro backdrop with large swings in market sentiment really underscore the high degree of uncertainty of the potential outcomes that come out of a post-COVID restart. And in such an environment with that risk, and it's really important to manage our risk and to measure our exposures well, and in helping us navigate portfolio construction. Portfolios are designed in their nature to be some sort of delivery mechanism to give a financial outcome for investors, be that return, income, risk, and ensuring portfolios are aligned to these goals whilst also being mindful of the risks and challenges that we face today is at the forefront of all of our minds. The market-leading technology that we use at BlackRock for risk management, Aladdin, allows us to really understand at the factor level the primary risk drivers in portfolios. It allows us to identify key exposures driving returns, and also allows us to stress the portfolios using historical factor correlations, but critically using today's composition. And that helps us understand both hypothetical and historical financial scenarios on potential portfolio P&L. So for this licensed managed account category, we leverage these analytics to provide a quantitative lens for the judges for the judging process, understanding how the portfolios were positioned, how they've behaved in stress markets, and also how well they represented the manager's goals and their investment philosophies. I've got to say all finalists were incredibly impressive and very worthy to be in the final of this category. And with the analysis really underscoring the diligence and the hard work and the thought that really went into constructing those finalist portfolios. So congratulations to everyone for their inclusion in the final. Ultimately, a winner was decided, and I'm really happy to announce that this year the winner for the licensee managed account category is Morgan Stanley Wealth Management Australia. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, James. And it's now my pleasure to hand over to Alex Ventelon from Morgan Stanley to say a few words. Alex, over to you.
Hello. Hey, Toby, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you
indeed.
see me?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, fantastic. So thanks very much, James. Thanks, Toby, and thanks to the whole judges panel. Winning this award 2 times in a row is really a recognition of the amount and the quality of the work Morgan Stanley has put in building this multi-asset portfolio offering in the last 3 years. So it's really particularly pleasing for us. So thanks again. Speaking on behalf of the research team, I would really like to thank our head of wealth management in Australia, Ian Chambers, and the whole investment solutions team for their ongoing support in terms of bringing these portfolios and this whole offering to life in the last 3 years. And of course, our FA network for supporting the rapid growth in these managed accounts. I would like also to thank Nathan Lim, our head of research, and our 3 analysts, Wayne Chatterjee, Sharmil Suka, and Sophie again, for their successful management of these portfolios. And also, I would like to say that I want to thank IMAP for the great work you guys are doing in terms of promoting investment management here in Australia and managed account through these awards and the conferences and webinars. That's very much appreciated. And last but not least, a bit of a shout out as well to Aladdin. That is one of the tools that we do use for risk management, and that's proven very efficient. So there you go.
Thanks very much, Alex. It's congratulations to you. I think next year perhaps we'll be having an over $1 billion and an under $1 billion licensee category. So congratulations to all of our winners. It's not easy. Everything the judges say about the rigor of the process that we go through is true. And now perhaps if the judges could turn their cameras on, it would be a pleasure for me to be able to thank you in person for the work that you have all done this year and the effort that you've put into really assessing the entrance that we've had. Rob, as a first-time judge, perhaps it turned out to be more than a ceremonial role. So thank you very much, and to all of you, and to Amanda, for whom this is the last time you'll be involved. Thank you for your effort over the last couple of years. So look, it's a pleasure for us to host the awards. It's important to us to be able to recognise the work which managed account managers do. And so congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the finalists. Each of you represented, in the opinion of the judges, somebody who was worthy to be a winner. So well done to all of you. The licensee category is something which has triggered me to think about the way in which portfolio management at a licensee level is delivered. And to that end, we are developing the independent thought program. And the first articulation of that is on the 1st of September, when we'll be holding a roundtable for which Dominic McCormick, one of our judges, will be the moderator. When we look at risk management, a number of the finalists in this category will be represented in that. And I look forward to bringing the independent thought series to you as we give portfolio managers from licensee organisations, from advice businesses, a chance to showcase their own thinking, and the asset consultants who support them. So thanks very much, everybody. Judges, thank you. Jenny Pimlett, Jane McElroy, who've made this possible. Thank you for your efforts. And we look forward to your entries next year. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.